Good morning, true crime friends. How you doing? Happy day after the eclipse. Today is, what's today? Tuesday, April 9th, 2024. Did you enjoy your eclipse yesterday? You know how it was here? It was bright and sunny, and then it got a little overcast, and then it was bright and sunny again. I was not in the path of totality. Also, just so you know, the world did not end. This is not the afterlife. Yes, there was an earthquake here in New Jersey on Friday. And then yesterday, Monday, there was an eclipse. And we are still here. So if you were predicting the end of days, that was not it. Sorry to disappoint. Okay, I don't know. I know some people are like, this is it. The sky is falling. It did not fall. But look. You know what did fall? You know what dropped? My new podcast. This madness that I call a YouTube channel is now a podcast over there on YouTube Music. But not every single thing, just some of the episodes. So mosey yourself on over to YouTube Music, and you can keep me in your ears. Now listen. You need to consult your physician to find out if gossip, rumor, and innuendo is right for you, but it is free and only certain playlists or podcasts. But get on over there and check me out on a podcast. We have Snapped, we have Lunchtime True Crime. Those are just little individual standalone episodes that you can listen to put a little chuckle in your day. And when people ask you, why you got that look on your face, girl? Why are you looking like that? You be like, I'm just listening to something. Tell people it's therapy because, being in a good mood and all this madness I believe it is good therapy. Is it just me? I think it's good therapy. Anyway, look, today in true crime, Chad Daybell's jury has been seated. You know Chad Daybell. Chad Daybell unalived his wife so that he could marry the crazy bombshell that is Lori Vallow Daybell. And he was just like, oh, I'm so sad. I had to unfortunately unalive my wife and so that I could marry this very hot, crazy lady. And also they unalived her kids. But now, listen, Chad and his first wife, Tammy, they had like 5 kids. And the leader of the 5 kids was their daughter, Emma. Emma's out here like, that was not my father. Yes, I know there's a mountain of proof that says that he jumped on my mama and smothered her with the pillow. And maybe it was an accident. We believe that mama stopped breathing. And truly, mama did stop breathing, but mostly after your daddy put a pillow over her face. Now listen, do I know that he put a pillow over her face? No, we have facts here. F-A-X facts, but not F-A-C-T-S, because, we're not about that fact life, child. We're here for the gossip, the rumor, and the innuendo. What we do know is that Tammy struggled, that she suffocated, and Chad was the only person there in bed with her. Okay, Chad, looking at you with your thumb looking. That man looks like a thumb. And last week I was saying he looked like the Pillsbury Doughboy. But I think that is slanderous to the Pillsbury Doughboy. And so, Pillsbury Doughboy, if you are out there, even though you were a fictional character, I would like to sincerely apologize from the bottom of my heart because Chad Daybell looks like a thumb and not the Pillsbury Doughboy. Anyway. So a jury of 18 people over there in Idaho, Iowa, wherever he is, has finally been seated. And today they're having opening statements. What is his attorney going to say? Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, Mr. Daybell is my client and he would like to say, oops, thank you. Like, what are you going to say? The unalive people, the children were found buried on your property. That happened by accident? You just... randomly, you gonna say that was not your new wife's kids? What, Sarah? How did he not just take a plea? This is a death penalty case, sir. Now listen, I know you think you are like the almighty or whatever. You know what's gonna be almighty? That prison sentence you get, that likely death sentence you get. Boo boo, you going down. You are going down. It's not going to be pretty. And I'm just going to be like, yes. Tell us more how much longer he's going to spend in prison and how much terrible things are going to happen to him because something tells me prison's not going to go good for him. You unalive some children, sir. I don't. And you were charismatic enough to be the cult leader for a bunch of stupid people over there in Idaho, Iowa, wherever you live. But in prison, sir, those are the real sharks. Those are the real manipulators. You know who they're not going to like? You. You know who else is not going to be popular in prison? the Crumbleys. Oh yes, Jennifer and James Crumbley get sentenced today. Now roll your mind back. Not Oxford, Mississippi. Oxford, Michigan. There was a school shooting in 2021, and the school shooter's parents were Jennifer and James Crumbley. These are the first parents in the country to be charged in association with the school shooting. Listen, this whole case was a wake-up call to parents everywhere. Like, wait. We can't just buy our mentally ill child a deadly weapon and leave it laying around the house. Oh, we had no idea. Oh, we didn't know. There was a gun lock there in the package with the gun. They never opened it. They never bothered. But they did make sure that their child knew how to shoot straight. They took him to the shooting range and then had pictures of it on Facebook. Y'all, these people are stupid. But also, they were drunk and misguided. You know how some people should not have children? Listen, when I was a kid, it was just sort of understood that like, oh yeah, everybody will have kids. But then the reality of that situation came about, and it was like, oh, lots of people don't have kids because they don't want kids. And lots of people don't have kids because they're like, nah, not for me. And you know what I say? Good for knowing yourself. These people never should have had children. Child, They were the world's worst parents. And they just left him to his own devices while they went and got drunk and rode horses and probably did other terrible things in the community. So, I had to talk my throat dry. Hang on. The shooter, Ethan Crumbley, took his gun and went to school and shot up the place. And unfortunately, unalived 4 people is a terrible situation. And the parents were like, oh, yeah, his room was a mess, so we thought he couldn't find the gun. We hid the gun very well. We put a pair of dirty jeans on top of it. That was our security system. Crumbleys, no. Nope. And their trials were together, right? Originally, Jennifer and James were both pleading like, it was not us. Who you gonna believe, me or your lying eyes? Like they were like, it was not us. But ultimately, their trials had to be separated. Now, they were being represented by a legal team of Marielle and Shannon. And Marielle and Shannon also had to separate. They separated their law firms. So Shannon defended Jennifer and Marielle defended James. In both cases, they were unsuccessful because both of them got convicted. But this is what you need to know about these lawyers. Now, first of all, Shannon, a very, very passionate defender of people who commit, can you say X crimes, SA charges. She defended Larry Nassar. Ma'am, now listen. Mr. Nassar was entitled to a defense. Okay. And she was on his defense team, and he's in jail now, I think forever, ever. So, Jen, girl, that might have been who you would. I think I would want a lawyer with a more winning personality, but also a more winning record. But anyway, Jennifer Crumbley was like, I would like to take Shannon Smith as my lawyer. Shannon Smith is a skosh excitable. She's very smart. She's a passionate jurist. She is a beautiful, beautiful trial advocacy. She, I believe personally, has a little bit of a genetic disorder, and that is that she got a little bit of chicken on her daddy's side. Now listen, I am not slandering this woman. I have not seen the DNA test that proves that she had a little chicken on her daddy's side, but it just kept coming out. First of all, she pouted and stomped around the courtroom, and then I was like, is she scratching and pecking? Because I think she might be scratching and pecking. And then when she would get upset, she'd be like, Your Honor, my God, I can't. And I was like, what is happening? What is happening? She kept like crowing and just, I was like, what is happening with Miss Smith over there? Something has gone seriously awry. And I go back and watch footage of her upset, of her frustrated. She just said, I'm sorry. She acted like a straight fool, but also kind of like a chicken. So chicken lawyer Shannon Smith defended this case to the best of her ability, and during her defense, she really centered herself in the trial. She was like, I'm a mess too. I think I told my husband that my children are terrible and they're driving me crazy. Ma'am, say less. Say less. You want to be up here too? She's just like, I told my husband that my children are a disaster and that we had all 4 of them kids by accident. Ma'am, so did a lot of us. Liquor is how half the population got here. That and just plain irresponsibility. I myself had 3 accidental pregnancies. Yes, 3. But you know what my children are not doing? Taking guns and shooting up the school. Ma'am, decorum, calm down. So anyway, chicken lawyer Shannon Smith got up there and clucked and balked and stomped around the courtroom and lost the case. Okay, cool, fine, because in my opinion, that case turned out the way it was supposed to turn out. Now, come time for sentencing, and Shannon was like, Your Honor, I have a brilliant idea. Yes, I lost the case. Yes, my client is going to be sentenced to prison, but she's already served 2.5 years, and I think you should just give her time served or put her on probation and let her serve her sentence. At my house, we have a spare coop. I mean, we have a guest house. She should stay in a guest house. And the state was like, bisque what? I did not say that other word. I said bisque, a thick, creamy soup. She was like, bisque what? Wait. Let me understand this, Madam Chicken. You got a spare coop and you want your felony convicted client to stay in the guest house on your property as her punishment? The state was like, no, what we not gonna do is that. Now, at the pre-sentencing report, they did like a whole report and they recommended 7 to 10 years. The state is like, put her in prison for 15 to 30 years. Shannon, the chicken lawyer, was like, I think that she should go live in my very fine guest house just for like a couple of years and I will keep a good eye on her. Ma'am, the same way you keeping a good eye on your kids? Them kids you said were terrible, that you said were out of their mind, that you couldn't stand, that were all accidents? Ma'am, no, ma'am, that's not going to go good for you. That's not going to go good for Jennifer either. And then the state pointed out something that I had not realized, that Jennifer Crumbley, in her regular life, where she was over there getting drunk and riding horses and not looking after her son, basically she lived in squalor. If she lives in her lawyer's guest house, that's a step up from where she was living before. So the state was like, wait, she was living in filth and squalor before with a child she couldn't control. She went to prison she misbehaved, went to prison for 2 years, and now we're putting her in a nicer place to live? What we're not going to do is that. And so the judge has to decide on that. Now listen, you thought I forgot about James and Marielle. No, I did not. James Crumbley and his lawyer, Marielle. Marielle, again, a passionate jurist. She argued fiercely for her client. There is no evidence of foul on her mother or father's side. And so she got up there and she made her case, and the jury was still like, yeah, it's going to be a no for me, dog. And they found her client guilty. Marielle, though, had different challenges than her former partner, Shannon. In dealing with James Crumbley, you kind of had to deal with the fact that he put his idiocy on full display. Now, neither one of these parents are rocket scientists, God knows. But James Crumbley, while he was in prison, while he was locked up in the county jail waiting trial, got a little bit frustrated. Little bit. So he made some phone calls. And so you know I love a jail phone call. Oh, I love a jail phone call. Shout out to the YouTube channel, Phone Calls from Prison. I love that channel. Please go over there and visit Miss Shay over there at Phone Calls from Prison, because she has all your favorite prison phone calls. I'm living for them. Anyway, James Crumbley got on the jail phone call where they say this call is being recorded and may be monitored, and everything you say on this phone call can and will be used against you in a court of law. Govern yourself accordingly, you big fat idiot. I mean, I'm summarizing, but that's generally what it says. And so James gets on the prison phone and he was like, the prosecutor, she's going down. I know this call is being recorded. She got it coming. She's going to see. He went on to say in the jail phone calls that he knew the call was being recorded. He did not care the call was being recorded. And then he threatened the prosecutor's life over and over and over. Said he was going to send her to hell. He was coming to get her. He was going to punish her. Sir, did you think that was going to go good for you? Did you think that was going to help your case? Even if you were acquitted, which was unlikely, did you think these jail phone calls were it's going to be like, oh yeah, no. That jail phone call where he was threatening the life of a government official on a recorded line, not a secretly recorded line, a line that everybody knows is recorded. You just threatened this lady over and over and over again, and now you mad that your actions have consequences, sir? So I wonder if James and his stupid behind might get a longer sentence for the threats. If nothing else, it shows that he don't have good judgment. Now listen, their kid has gone away to prison forever, ever, ever, the rest of his life. And in the 2.5 years since their son has went away, they have not reached out to him. They have not contacted him. They have not written him any letters. They have done nothing, which that tracks. That seems exactly like something these parents would do. Have they contacted each other? Yeah, absolutely they have. They've been in touch with each other. They've talked to each other. I don't even know that they've tried to reach out to their child. That's your child. But listen, they ignored him when he was alive living in the house with them. It got to be real easy to ignore him now. They're like, out of sight, out of mind. Okay, I guess he's over there in prison. It's not really that surprising that their son, went all the way to the left. Their child was like, I'm having some mental health disorder. Can I go to the nervous hospital? And they were like, have this nice melatonin. I'm sure that will help you right out. Also, would you enjoy a nice, delightful gun? These people, they need to go to jail for a long time, and not over to the spare coop of Shannon Smith, the chicken lawyer. They need to go to big girl jail. Big boy jail, like jail, where they can deal with other criminals who were just like them. Child, they will blend. Look, last but certainly not least, do you remember the Slender Man trial? This case was like 10 years ago. There used to be like an internet boogeyman called the Slender Man. Now, he was never a real person. I don't even know that there were ever real pictures of this Slender Man aside from cartoons. And he was like long and skinny and willowy, I believe with no face, if I remember correctly. These two 12-year-old girls decided that Slender Man was real. Okay. And then one of the girls, Megan something or other, decided that if she didn't go out here and unfortunately unalive some people, that the Slender Man was going to get her. Okay. So 3 little girls have a sleepover, and the main evil girl, I believe her name was Megan, got together with the less evil girl and was like, okay, we're going to invite our third friend Haley over, and we're going to take her to the woods, and we're going to try our best to unalive her with this knife I got out of my mama's kitchen, y'all. And because of Slender Man. And her little dumb friend was like, okay, that sounds good. So they lure their friend out into the woods and jump on her and stab her 19 times. Listen, the little girl lived. The girl who got all stabbed up survived. She dragged herself out of the forest and saved her. That girl is a hero. Also, her friends are horrific. So the 2 little girls they didn't go to trial. They took plea deals. Yeah. That sounds about right. And said they had mental defect or disease. And so they got to go to the nervous hospital, but the state-run nervous hospital. Something tells me that the state-run nervous hospital, probably not that plush, probably not that nice. So the girl who was like the assisted attempted unaliver, she got out of prison a few years ago. The assisted attempted unaliver, was sentenced to 25 years, but she got out after like 8 years. That math is not mathing for me, but okay. The main attempted unaliver, Megan, was sentenced to 40 years by reason of mental defect or disease. She has now served 10 years. She served 10 years, right? So she's like, hey, I'd like to go home now. Ma'am, I don't know if you know math. I don't know I know that when you were 12, you went away to the nervous hospital, and now you're 22. I don't know how much math they teach over there at the hospital, but yeah, girl, 40 plus 20 is too soon. It's only 10 years. It's way too soon, in my opinion. But her doctors are like, yeah, we fixed her. Can she be fixed? Can she just gonna be out here living among the rest of us? I have to find out what state this is happening so I could know to avoid that state. I was just like, something not right with that girl. And so I was like, okay. This happened when she was 12. Now she's 22. A lot of time has gone by. She's probably gotten a lot of therapy over there in the state hospital. So she appeared in court yesterday so that she could plead her case to say, I would like to go home now. And then I looked at her. She may feel like she's gotten better. she does not look healed and whole. That is my opinion. Did you ask my opinion? No, but you here on my channel, so child, you here for my opinion. And I was like, they didn't teach her how to hold her mouth shut. I was like, she's legit a mouth breather. I don't even know what I'm looking at. I'm looking at this girl and I'm like, close your mouth. If you just, it would help your case if you had a less far off look in your eye, and if you just worked real hard at holding your mouth, mouth draped all open. Ma'am, oh my God. So there's going to be a hearing over the next couple of days to determine if old mouth breather over there could go home. I think she needs a little more time in the mental hospital. Or they could just send her right on over to the big girl prison and let her enjoy the rest of her time over there. Because, girl, how you getting out at all? Yes, now listen. Apparently, there's like constitutional whatever laws, I guess, that say you can't sentence children to life in prison. Okay, cool. Can we put you in a nice cushiony place out in the woods, someplace where you're away from the rest of us? Because I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm nervous. I mean, apparently, I also heard on Court TV this morning, if you serve 12 years is considered life, or anything above 12 years is considered life. But she was only 12 years old when this happened. So she hasn't served 12 years yet. Can we give her a couple more years? Apparently 3 or 4 years ago, she asked to be let out early, and then her doctors was like, yeah, nah, boo. And so she withdrew her application. Oh, Lord, I hope she withdraws this application, because I'm like, Tina Turner, Liza Minnelli, Judy Garland, we need to call on all of the saints to make sure this heifer stays in jail, because it is not safe out here for the rest of us. But listen, I need to get on with the rest of my day. I know you need to get on with the rest of your day, too. Listen, like this video, subscribe to the channel. I'll see y'all tomorrow, bright and early, right back here. I'm going to see you in the morning for more true crime. Oh, also, check out my podcast. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.